Hello, CFA Nation. Gabe.
Nick, the night watchman, pointing the right way. Ooh, baby.
You know what? From time to time, I get it right. You know what I'm saying? From time to time, I get it right. And I was like, wait, he's on that side, so I'm pointing the opposite way. Anyway, guys, we're here today to bring you another installment of our Three Wickets. Oh, I just love the slow-mo. Oh, man. Honestly, we're bringing up our Three Wickets for what I think is one of the most lopsided matches I've seen. There's been a few, because I was thinking, man, this is one of the worst. But then I look back, I like to look at context. And your boys RCB went down to the Kings 11. I think it was for 109. I was like, how did that happen? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they must have been thinking to themselves, how did that happen? There's been a few that were like that. But this was one of the most disappointing performances I've seen. And I don't know if it was a mutiny. People are saying in the chat there's a mutiny on hand, because it looked like those first few guys just gave up their wickets. And this could have been much uglier. Understand that I don't remember exactly. Well, let me see if I can figure out what over Patty Cummings came in. But when Patty Cummings came in, okay, let me just tell you what the rest of the team had scored. 7 runs, 21 runs. Shibman Gill was the high scorer at that point. 5 runs, Nitish Rana. 4 runs, Dinesh Karthik. And Owen Morgan was playing test at that point because he was just the last man standing. And I want to say, I forget what over it was. Oh, I can tell you right now what over it was, because he came in after Russell. Russell was in the 10th over. So by the 10th over, okay, 10.4 over, it was, I don't know, let's just do the math. That's 28 there. That would be 37. And then 47, 48, 49 runs was scored, and whatever Owen Morgan had at that point. It was ugly, people. It was ugly. Holy cow. I'm sure there's a way to break it down like inning by inning, but before Patty Cummings came in, it was absolutely ugly. And let us know in the chat, did the team just give up? Was there a mutiny? Because I'm sure what's going to be talked about is, myself included, I was boasting the entire time, or not boasting, but saying, hey, we get it right. And I guess one of the comments last night on our last video kind of got me sore when somebody was like, oh, you guys make bold comments. I'm like, for guys that are just coming in, I'm sorry. We've been calling for Chris Gale. I've been calling for him from the very beginning. He just proved he ain't too old to play, and that whole defensive liability thing is way overplayed. I've been calling it. Any captain who flips a coin and wins and decides not to bat first is crazy, because the pitch is slowed down. It's hot out there. Just chasing is unsuccessful. Even though there's been 2 chases that's been successful, you're still looking at like 75% rate, okay, right now, of matches that are won by the team that ends up batting first. So the math's not too hard to do. I mean, a slew of things we've been right about. So I was kind of like chapped about it. So we have been saying that Karthik probably had been the worst captain this year, and that the pressure was getting to him. He needed to step down. To his credit, he did. Did you think it was actually going to happen, Nick? I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, and I will say, people on Instagram and whatnot, they've informed me that this guy seems like a really, really good dude. He really does. But when you're not performing at the stumps, and you're not performing leading your team, and they had some victories, obviously, but he's not leading by example, something's got to happen.
Not just not leading by example, but then making bad choices, with the opening partnership, sticking with Narayan as long as he did. Just a myriad of reasons. With that being said, I feel like the desired effect wasn't over there. Instead of this team being galvanized by them going to Owen, right? It was like the opposite. I feel like those guys just didn't even try. Like, I don't know. You got to understand, too, that's one of the tough things when you're a captain on the team or a quarterback or whatever, and you replace the guy, okay? That a guy that was ahead of you is going to have his contingent of dudes. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have those dudes that are loyal to him, that will run through a wall for him. You know what I'm saying? And you got to believe that some of those other players feel some kind of way about what's going on, what's transpiring. You know what I mean? With that being said, I think they're professionals. So I don't think that they would just like not show up because of this switch. I hope. But this move should have galvanized them. At the same point, it didn't. What happened? Dude, KKR did not show up. So I'm going to start with what I hated. The effort was disgusting. This was the worst effort I've seen in a team. And props to my man, Shipping Gill. He tried. But guys were just giving away their wickets. And you're a professional athlete, man. You cannot do that. You got to show up. You got to bang out. I think here's what people don't understand. Okay. And this is why we hold athletes to such a high standard. And hear me out here, Nick. Right now in my family, we probably have at this point 30 or 40 people who've played sports on a serious level. And I mean serious level, okay? And literally on my side of the family, I'm talking about the Dominican side. Dude, only one has made it to the minor leagues. Okay, a couple people have played college ball, handful of them, my nephew, my son now included. So 15, but when you become a pro athlete, bro, you're the best of the best of the best. You're ahead of so many other people, and you're holding this coveted position. If you don't perform because you just had a bad day, that's one thing. But we've all seen it when athletes just don't perform because, they're like almost disinterested. They're dejected and they don't even try. And to me, that's a disheartening thing because there's so many people that want that shot that you got and never got the opportunity. If that, if that makes sense. Like Savannah's side of the family, right? She's got pro athletes in her family that made it in international football, okay? She comes from a football pedigree, but still, there's a lot more in her family that didn't make it, bro. I mean, the numbers, the percentages, again, are so low. So if you're up there and you have that coveted spot, you die for that, man. You battle. Didn't look like those guys were out there grinding, giving out their last. You know what grinding to me is? I hate saying it. Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock. I'm out here in pain. I don't care, okay? I'm going to go out here, and until I get my brains beat out, if I cannot... Who was the kid that was almost died of exhaustion, and you were like, well, it wasn't that bad? Remember, what's his name, earlier this season? This kid was exhausted, and he was like, I'm not leaving here. Even a better example, the actual Australian dude that ended up going to the hospital.
Dean Jones.
Dean Jones. You die for it, man, because this is an opportunity that a lot of people don't have. Did you see that fight out of them today? It didn't. And I'm sorry, this isn't Nick, who's not a KKR. This is KKR fan coming because why? I was a TKR fan. I didn't see that fight in them today. A lot of those dudes on there just gave up their wickets and gave up. And I'm like, and I could see people are going to say, oh, it was a tough wicket. Really? Then why did Patty Cummings score 53 runs? Okay? 53 runs. This is a bowler. All right? If it was such a weak wicket, or slow wicket, it should be slower in the second inning, right? That's why you want to bat first, right? Because it's slower for second inning. Mumbai Indians won in the 17th, not even 17th over. The whole 17th over wasn't over, and they had 149s. They could have put up 200 easily, okay? They lost only 2 wickets, and Pollard didn't even bat, which killed my fantasy team, okay? I mean, let's just be real, guys. And they're going to say, no. Tell me you thought that those guys actually gave a full effort. So what did I hate? That was a disgusting performance. And some of those guys need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I don't care what's going on with the politics between Owen and Karthik. I don't care what's going on with Narayan not being here. And I am blessed to be in this position. I should value it. And today I embarrassed myself and I embarrassed my team. All right. What did I not like on the Mumbai Indians side? I've just got to be real. Bro, explain to me, bro. Okay. This guy that came in today, Nathan Coulter now, right? He was supposedly gonna be the main guy until he got hurt, and that's when Pattinson came up. And you and I even said, who's this now guy? Where's Pattinson? And they're like, well, they're just experimenting or whatever. They're giving Pattinson a rest or whatever. But before that, this was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to be ahead of Pattinson, right? Yo, Jordan alert. My man went over the Jordan line. Cousin. All right, cousin, crying Jordan face right over here. Are you serious? Really? And you know who lit him up? Patty Cummings, a bowler for that. Really? Oh my God, bro. You know what? Explain to me why that guy, my point is, why was Coulter now ahead of Pattinson on the roster, right? Because Pattinson was supposedly a replacement. Explain that. I don't understand. And where's the talent? People are going to say, well, he's better than this. on a day when this team was actually giving up his wickets, you had the only economy rate over 10, 1275. You got Jordan Cousin. Bro, go back to the bench. I hope Rohit's like, he's got a little notebook, right? He's got a little notebook, and he's like this. Okay, not in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He took a mental note. Because listen, if that was today, what happens if he actually goes against some Lions? What happens if he goes against a real hitting squad like DC? All right, DC would have ate him for lunch, cousin. Oh my gosh, Nick, what didn't you like?
Dude, you totally stole my thunder. All right, I am so mad at myself. And I typically don't give in to peer pressure. I allowed the comments in this morning's live stream overcome what I saw with my eyes. All right. The first over by NCN. That's what I'm going to call him for right now. He doesn't even deserve me saying his name. NCM. This guy gave up like 9 or 10 in the first over. I'm like, really? Pattinson always gave like a 2 or 3 tops, sometimes a wicket. Okay. Oh, don't worry, Nick. He's awesome. Then he got a wicket and gave up 5 in the second over. Okay. I got to check it out right now because by my math, that's only 14 in 2 overs. The next 2, he gave up 37? Are you kidding me? 37? There's and let the excuses come in, guys. Let the excuses come in. Oh, he's not a death bowler. Then why did he bowl in the death? That's Sharma's fault, right? Oh, he's not this. Then why did it happen? This guy got lit up. No one came within 19 runs of him. Bolt was the second worst, and his economy rate was at 8. Their bowling was so on par. Why in the world did he give up so many runs? You're going to say this spinner nonsense and this or that. The guy, I totally disliked him. Everyone else besides Yadav, who I was more mad about the fantasy implications than his performance, everyone else just balled out. Rohit Sharma, 35, Dekak. I'll get all that kind of stuff later on. I cannot believe I gave into the peer pressure. And I said, oh, wait, maybe this guy is good. Because I was right from the beginning. It looked different. How do you have your first over? We've seen so many matches now where the first and second over, not a lot of runs are scored. This guy gave up 9 or 10, like KKR, and they only ended up scoring 148. This guy gave them more than 1/3 of their runs.
I guarantee right now that the ice pack isn't on his shoulder, because he was bowling, or actually it should be on their elbow because I guess there's more stress on their shoulder because of the mechanics of the way you bowl in cricket. But the ice pack is on his neck, cousin, because he was doing this. Oh, there goes another one. Yo, just keep turning. Oh, another one. Wow, he hit that one far. His neck turned, bro. He got spasms.
What I need, you talked about Rohit Sharma saying not in the playoffs. Yeah, definitely. He's not getting an invite.
He's like this.
I hope
in the playoffs.
I hope by the end of the match, this is what happened. They had their spread, and Rohit Sharma let him have his spread, and he played in the game today. Okay, and then he goes up to him and he says, "Listen, buddy, we're starting something new. Because of COVID, we all have our individual keys to our hotel room. I'm going to give it to you now, so we don't have to mess around later on." What? We've never done that before. Trust me, it's a new process. His hotel better be across the country in a different place in like the smallest little tiny hotel room. The driver and Rohit Sharma just gives him like a million rupees and says, just drive as far as you can, buddy.
Chop him off.
And he's not going to show back up. Now, we're being tongue-in-cheek. We're having a little bit of fun, but I cannot believe I backed off from what I originally saw. Okay. That's what I disliked on the Mumbai side. Other than that, they were fantastic. They showed why they're number 1 team on the points table. They got so many players. They didn't have to use most of the bullets in their gun. They were absolutely amazing. KKR, what did I dislike? Oh, so when you have a switch like this, like Gabe was saying, you're hoping for it to be a rallying point. They lost today and they're still number 4 in the points table. You're hoping for it to give you a jump start and help you propel you to that 3 spot securely for the playoffs and be ready to go. My question is, why was this move not made after Monday's match? And I understand it's Karthik. I understand he gave up his captaincy and he waited till yesterday. I get that. I'm not going to ask for him to be completely embarrassed and then ask for more too. But in hindsight, and they hate when I say that, he should have made that. If you're going to make the change after Monday's game, because you have a 3-day break, 4 days until your next match. You get a chance for guy. You're right. These guys look different. They look like they were shell-shocked. The decision was made just yesterday, the day prior. And Owen Morgan being the vice captain, he's like, sure, I'll take it. I've done it before, not a big deal. For my international squad, I don't think the guys were ready. I don't think they were in the right headspace. And I think you're right, because Karthik is a likable guy. I think it threw him for a loop. Tripathi 7, Rana 5, Karthik 4, strike rate of 50. I hate to harp on him. He hit one ball on his 8 balls. Luckily for him, it was a boundary. What did I not like? I don't understand what's going on with some of these guys on this squad. You mentioned already Cummins was their best scorer, and he's the all-rounder, right? He's not known for his scoring. What is going on with the rest of the guys, but especially Russell? Russell is your man. Russell is your big basher. And game after match after match after match after game, he's constantly not performing at the level that we expect him to be. They need him to carry them, okay? You said that they would get 200 easy. I don't know about that. They only had 3 more overs left to go, and they got some big sixes at the end. But imagine if they would have got to 170, 175. Russell, you got to give us more than that. That's what I dislike, because this guy, he was a maximum 6 award winner last year. This guy's in contention for MVP usually, and he's just not right. And if it is an injury, you got to do something about that, because it's just not fair. It's just not fair. That's what I disliked on the KKR side. But this was an easy match for Mumbai. This was super easy. The only thing you can joke around and say, oh, well, Nick, is only a 1-run game. That's because they finished before the 17th over was done. What did you like, Mr. Gabe? Can you find anything you liked?
I can. And first and foremost, even though people are going to say, oh, well, Owen Morgan's first chance as a captain, they lose the game, the team's not galvanized. That says more about the players really than him, in my opinion. But he went out, 134 strike rate. Once all those other wickets fell, he went out there, lasted to the end, right? He knew there's nobody left. After me and Patty Cummings, there's nobody left. And they gave their best team, the best chance to win. 148 seemed like a miracle when they were at one point down to, I think it was like 90, bro. It was like 80 or 90. And they were going into the death overs, and I think they might have had 80 runs. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was bad, Nick. So again, Owen Morgan did his job. Patty Cummings, the best a man could beat. All right. This is why you pay this guy that kind of money you pay him. 53 runs on 36 balls, 147 strike rate. I don't expect him to be a batter. And everybody's like, oh, people underrate him as a batsman. He's a good batsman. Yeah, but he's also a great bowler. Again, economy rate, once again, under 10, 3 overs, 28 runs scored. No wickets today. But again, I understand why they paid that kind of money for him. So I was happy to see those performances. On the other side, I took DC. Remember when we did our overviews? And I didn't do your overview. I listened to yours, but I didn't do as much research as you did, obviously, for Mumbai Indians. But I took DC for one reason and one reason only. I saw the depth that they had, how deep this team is. And I'm like, man, they got multiple bowlers, multiple batsmen. They got Hitmeyer. I was more excited about Hitmeyer than I was for DC, I should say, than I was as some of the other batsmen that I didn't know, like Sirius Iyer. Okay, Sirius Iyer. That's our joke. But people ate me up because I said it wrong. But this team was so balanced, right? Bro, Mumbai is almost, if not as balanced, maybe better. And it pains me to say that. Bro, it pains me like you don't want to. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Hate it. Bro, Pollard didn't bowl one bowl. You didn't use Pollard as a batsman. You didn't use Pollard as a bowler. Literally, you know what Pollard's contribution was? He got a catch today. That's it. That's all they needed Pollard for. This guy was the captain. He led the TKR Knight Riders, the Trimbago Knight Riders, to a
captain of the West Indies international squad.
And he can't even sniff. Can a brother get on Lade? He can't even sniff, bro. He can't even sniff in that bat. He can't even sniff a bowling performance. That's how deep this team is.
Hey, get away from the bats, Pollard. Get away from him.
They're like, Pollard, what are you doing? This is, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even need you. It's bro, it's disgusting. It is absolutely an embarrassment of riches, all right? Like literally, it was Quentin de Kock, Rohit Sharma, Yadav, and who else batted today? And Pandya. And that's it. That's it, bro. It was like Yeah, go ahead, boys. Stay back there. Enjoy the AC. Have some tea and crumpets. We're not going to need you today. Like, seriously? And you look at who didn't bat. Ishan Kashan, Pollard, Pandya. They could have easily got to 200. That's what I'm saying. And this isn't like we're playing at Sharjar, bro. Oh my gosh. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But they're going to be in there at the end. They are. It's going to be them in DC. You know, I'm hoping for CSK. But let's be honest. And so somebody said you guys should do a middle of the season review. We're almost a little over the middle of the season review. But are you confident? I'm gonna talk about my own teams. But are you confident that RCB, with the up and down you see in their performance, that they're going to make it to the end? I know you chose them to win, but are you confident?
Playoffs, yes. Playoffs, yes.
To win it
all, I'm hoping. But okay. It's asking a lot, which is having 4 guys that are deep enough on your squad.
With what I saw today, no way the Knight Riders make it to the playoffs. And even if they do, no way they win a championship. And CSK, as much as I want them to be there at the end, that's who I chose. They're 3-5 right now. They have a chance of getting in. This actually benefited them. But dude, with CSK, it's the same thing. You got 4 guys that can bat, and then it's a game over, cousin. You got all these bowlers, and you can't bowl them all at the same time. So it's like they don't have the kind of depth that, you know, that's what happened today. You know, and most of these teams are built that way. They're really heavy at the top. Think about the Kings 11. They got all their batting stacked up top. Once they lose those 4 guys up there, it's over. It's good night. We were joking. Nick always says you don't want to lose 2 wickets in a power play. New phrase, you don't want to lose 4 wickets by the 8th over. They lost 4 wickets by the 8th over. It was over, cousin. And that's most teams. Mumbai could lose. Bro, Mumbai could have lost those 4 batsmen and still had, listen to this, Ishan Kashan, Pollard, and Pandya. Yeah, I trust those guys. You know what I'm saying? So CSK doesn't have enough because of the way they're constructed, in my opinion, to win a championship, because they need 1 or 2 of those guys to falter and it's over. Mumbai could have their guys falter. It doesn't matter. The other day we saw DC lose their 2 top guys and other guys. Bro, no problem. We still got more dudes for you. We'll keep throwing them at you and throwing them at you and throwing them at you. Stoinis, who's one of their top guys, bats 7s, I think it is, or 6 for the 11P. It depends what game he's in. You know what I mean? Like, those 2 teams are super deep. And I hate to say it, Mumbai may have the slight edge because they do got Pollard, and I've seen that man go on a wrecking wreck. They wreck stuff. I don't think DC has the power that a Pollard can provide. And look at today, Quentin the Cock. Holy cow, 48 runs. Like, that's, if there's an edge, that's where it is. You know what I mean? If the championship is in Sharjah with the power that Mumbai got, I'm going with Mumbai. I'm sorry. I'm not putting my money on losing horse. That's not what the kid's about. Even if I pick DC to be in there, I gotta powers. Let us know if you guys know where the championship is going to be. But Mumbai would benefit from being in Sharjah, where DC, because they got a better bowling lineup, would benefit from being at, let's say, Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Or Abu Dhabi. Because I'm telling you, the power. Bro, can you believe they put up that and they had 3 overs and a ball to spare? That was an embarrassment. Oh my gosh, Nick, what did you like?
Man, my man can talk. I mean, I think that was like 20 minutes straight that time. I don't think there's any way they put the final in Sharjah. There's no way, or even the quarterfinal. I don't see it. Maybe one of the quarterfinal matches, because you're gonna have 3 matches in the playoffs. I don't see the final. There's no way. I think Abu Dhabi is going to be the place they have the final. But what did I like? Okay, in Mumbai side, there's so much to like. There really is. Someone's going to be left out, but I'm going to focus on Shahar. Not just because he had the lowest economy rate today. He had 4.5, 4 overs, 18 runs. This guy had some big wickets, right? Some big stinking wickets. He had Karthik. Karthik's going through it right now. And he had Shubman Gill, arguably their best batsman right now when he's on fire. And this guy, he gave one of the best fist bumps I've seen in a long time, too. This guy was feeling it when he got Karthik because it was back-to-back. He had 2 wickets in a row. That was a horrible over for KKR in so many different ways. I loved that. I love my man Bumrah. This guy is so consistent. I love Krunal. He went out there for 4 overs, and he gave you 23. They're using him more for his bowling than for his batting. And I thought he was more of a batting tops heavy as far as the all-rounder goes. So, I mean, their bowling was absolutely fantastic. How could you not mention that when the other team got 148? And that 148 was helped on some big last overs, for crying out loud. Here it is right here. They had, geez Louise, they had 21 in the 20th over, and then they had 18 in the 19th over. You take those two, you talk about 120s.
Bro, who bowled the 20th over?
Nathan Coulter-Nile. Stop it.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Jordan
was sitting home like this, like eating popcorn, saying, "You see what I did yesterday, cousin?"
Oh my gosh. Coulter-Nile. Come on, guys. Come on. I said in the first minute. All right. What did I like from KKR? You got to love Cummings, right? This guy's got nothing to lose, in my opinion. He's at the end of the bat. I love those guys who are like, you guys didn't give me enough respect as a batsman. You put me way down here. We have our captain who can't score runs. Let me just put up a 53. And when he celebrated his 53, he like barely lifted his glove. He's like, whatever. I don't really care. He got 2 6s, but he got the 5 4s. This guy had a 147 strike rate. This guy was the most impressive guy on KKR today. And when we look at his bowling, he had 3 overs and only 28 runs. He had 9.3 economy rate. Didn't get any wickets. No one really got any wickets. Also, Chakravarti, right? Chakravarti and Mavi. I was listening to the chat or looking at the chat in the Hotstar when the match was happening, and this guy is like, Mavi is not a game changer, though. He looked pretty impressive today, but Chakravarti, I mean, this guy's turned into one of those bowlers that we did not mention at all early on the season, and he's a guy that you've got to mention because this guy's got some serious skill. There was a lot of good bowling today. What did I love? Going back to Mumbai real quick, the Cock 78. Man, was I wrong on this guy. His strike rate was 177. I was asking Najib a few matches back, like, is DeCock really that good? And he's like, of course. So mad at myself. I was going to pick him up today, but, my stubbornness, no, he's not going to go off again today. This guy is phenomenal. 9 4s, 3 6s. He was exactly the kind of answer you wanted. When KKR was lackluster, we mentioned on the stream, watch Mumbai go lackluster. Maybe it's the pitch. Maybe it's a slow-scoring match. DeCock just like, no, I'm going to get 78, no problem. And he was not. He opened the match. He closed the match. We've seen that now 2 matches in a row. Him and KL Raul have done that. I completely trust DeCock right now. You are the man. The fans knew it. I did not until now. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to jump right into what I learned. And what I learned is, yes, you cannot get a 50 every single match. Yes, you cannot get 2 or 3 wickets every single match. It's not going to happen. But what I learned is those guys who are stepping up and getting those more consistently, those are the guys that you've got to keep on your squad. Those are the guys you got to watch out for. And that seems like the most obvious thing ever. But right now, DeCock, I want to say this is his 3rd or 4th 50, right? KL Raul can't make the best decisions, but this guy just goes out there and bangs every single time. You have guys like Rohit Sharma, for crying out loud. He's going to get you at least 30, 35, if not a 50, if not a 70. Dhoni recently. Kohli, excuse me. Why do we keep doing that? I don't know why we get those names mixed up. I have no idea. Kohli recently. Those are the guys that you need to have on your squad if you want to take a serious playoff run, okay? DC has Shreyas Iyer. And I'm going to go flip-flop on you. I'm more worried about DC as far as possibly getting their first championship this year. When you got Rabada, that guy is a game wrecker. That guy gets multiple wickets every single match. And you got a guy, and I got to check up if Shreyas Iyer is injured right now because he took that bad fall when he was trying to get that catch recently. They have a very, very dangerous squad. And I'm sorry, they got a guy named Norkia, right? They have a guy named Norkia. The thing with Mumbai with their bowlers is, yes, they have a Bumrah, and he hasn't been lights. He hasn't been his typical self the last 2 matches as far as getting lots of wickets and just putting people down. But we have not seen Shahar do this kind of performance in consistent times. We've seen Norkia and Rabada just dominate the IPL recently. So if that's the final, that's going to be an exciting one. From the KKR side, I learned that even though this team is down right now, they are not out. They still can turn this thing around. I do think, and we say this all the time, I do think they need to change their order around, okay? I personally, I would keep Shubman Gill as number 1, not number 2. I'd have him open, okay? But I would also have him open with a Nitish Rana. I don't like him coming at 3. For some reason, he comes in at 3, and very seldom does he go off. I want to see him in the opener. I want to see him in the power play with Shubman Gill. I want to see what he can do. I have no problem with Tripathi being a 3 or even a 5, but I would seriously consider having Shubman Gill and Rana open. I think that would give him a change of pace. I don't think you got to change the entire system, but you've got to change a few things today. It did not work out. I think Morgan will still be there doing good things for his team as a new captain. But this IPL, we have 6 teams that are just like all over the place. And I'm going to put RCB in there. We have 2 teams that are staying pat at the top and just are not faltering whatsoever. It definitely looks like their league right now, and the other 6 are just fighting in a frenzy to try to get those last 2 playoff spots. That's what I learned. Gabe, what about you?
You know, here's what I learned, and I've been there, all right? I've been there. You know, I've seen my kids go through it. Sometimes in sports, bro, you're fighting yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I still haven't sent you that video of Trey, but Trey's a super unbelievable athlete, right? And he's a great pitcher. But he's had games, man, where he'll go on the mound and he can't throw a strike. This kid can throw strikes blindfolded. But sometimes, man, you're just fighting yourself. You're fighting your mechanics. You know, the self-doubt, okay? Confidence is one of the biggest things for an athlete. And I say that because today I saw Karthik get dismissed on a poor reverse sweep attempt where you could just tell this guy is searching. He's like, what's going on? I know I'm a better player than this, okay? And, you know, we joking kid, but when you make it to that level, when you've gone to the IPL and been selected as a captain, obviously this guy can play. Obviously, he's much better than what he's shown. He's in that funk. And when you're in that slump, bro, it seems like you're in quicksand, bro. You're drowning. You're trying everything. You're fighting. And sometimes it seems like the more you fight, the worse things get, if that makes sense. Case in point, yesterday, you saw Chris Gale, probably the calmest I've seen any other player in the IPL this season. Like, it's nothing, bro. I've been here. You know what I mean? And look at how some balls he just let go. Other balls he was just swinging effortlessly. Oh, it's a dot ball, no problem. Where you could see that every ball is life and death to Karthik right now. And he's not playing relaxed. He's not playing loose. He's fighting himself. And I honestly feel bad for the dude. You know what I mean? Because I know what he's got to go through internally. You know what I'm saying? And I want you guys to understand, we hold athletes' feet to the fire, but I come from an athletic family. My kids still play sports, you know, one in college, one in high school. You know, my brother was a college athlete. I mean, it's one of those things where when you can't find it, bro, it sucks. And it's so hard. And I'm sure you go to the locker room, you're throwing gear, you know, bro, it's I've seen grown men cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that humanizing part of it, where I guarantee you, just the look on his face when he was dismissed, bro, this guy's lost. He's absolutely lost. And the pressure of being the captain and having to step down isn't helping. You know what I mean? That was such a tough thing. All right. I already told you what I learned about Mumbai. I hate myself for saying it, but I think they're gonna win. I'm praying amongst all DC wins. I don't think my pick was a CSK at the beginning of the season, and I'm rocking with them, guys. That's not saying I'm a DC fan. I'm just saying I picked them because I thought they would make the playoffs. And to me, they're the best chance to beat Mumbai Indians because they're more balanced than every other team. Like you said, it's them in Mumbai. But gosh, guys, did you realize that literally, like you said, Pandya wasn't even needed to hit today? He was bowling. They didn't even use, they won today with this kind of impressive performance, and they didn't have Pattinson. Look at the scalp leaderboard. Isn't Pattinson top 5 or 6 for wickets taken this year?
Was, yeah.
So they did it without him. It's like, it's so frustrating. So I already said, unfortunately, Mumbai Indians, like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not one of those sports fans that say, oh, the Red Sox suck. I'm sorry. How many World Series have they won? Oh, Tampa sucks. Tampa Bay's in the playoffs right now. I hate them as franchises, but I can appreciate talent. I know what I see. Mumbai is good. They literally got a team out for 148, and it took 21 in the last over to do so when they didn't even have Pattinson today. Think about that. What if that's a normal, 15? Even a big over was considered 15. What if that's just 15? What if it's a bad over and, 7 or 8, 10? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this could have been a much worse loss. So I learned that Mumbai, oh my gosh, it's gonna be bad, and I know Nick's gonna be gloating. The worst case scenario for me, by the way, is RCB and Mumbai, because then that means Nick can't lose at all. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna lose a little bit of hair I have. The eyebrows are gonna go along with the. Yes, this is considered a mustache. This is the Dominican mustache. This is all I could grow. I get so jealous too. By the way, this is completely off topic, but when you see those dudes out there with their glorious beards, man, they look like lion's manes. You know what I mean, dude? I'm like, seriously, dude. Like think about a lot of the Indian flicks too that we watch, bro. These guys effortlessly just grow it out, man. And I'm like, I got patches and stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? It just grows horrible, man. Wait till No Shave November, guys. Nick can grow the most glorious beard too. So jealous. Another reason I hate Nick. Nick, any parting words?
I just want to say that if you've been growing that for a few weeks, I had that much facial hair by 3 o'clock today. I'm just kidding. No, it is a curse actually, because you don't have to shave that much, which I'm jealous about that. Guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to tell us your thoughts about this match. Don't forget to tell us your thoughts about, as we're looking to the future, what do you see happening? Thanks so much for checking us out in our live streams. We will be back tomorrow with our guest star from Cricket for Us 2.0. We'll be watching the match CSK versus the Delhi Capitals, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see that. Please get a beat down on CSK with these two CSK fans. That'd be fantastic. Cricket for Us is a CSK fan. Can't wait. Until next time.
That's 6 runs.